Good morning, day 662. We're still here. We still have 50 hostages held in the dungeons of Gaza by the inhumane, barbaric, rapist, modern-day Nazis, monsters and liars of Hamas, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, UNRWA, the UN. They are all together. The UN in Gaza is Hamas. And Al Jazeera, also complicit, the media arm, all supported and funded by Qatar, Iran, and Egypt, and morally supported by France and Canada and some other Western countries. We are here every morning to demand basic common sense demand from Hamas to surrender and let all 50 hostages go immediately at once. One phase, one bus, all of them together. No one is left behind, no little by little, and Israel should give up nothing. This is the only thing we accept. That's the only path forward. For all of those of you who are trying to shine light for the suffering in Gaza, for the starvation, all of the fucking bullshit. If you are not calling for Hamas to surrender and let our people go, you are complicit. You are prolonging the suffering. You are at fault for the suffering of the Gazans, the same one you're trying to advocate for. But we all know you not truly care about them. All you care is for the annihilation of Israel. That's what you actually want. When you are calling for Israel to end the war without putting the pressure on who needs to put the pressure on in order to end the war, you are calling for the death of Israel. Prime Minister of Canada saying that they are ready to acknowledge Palestinian state, but that one would not be able to be with Hamas in power, and they're ready to take the steps. I wonder what steps would look like. Are you gonna go into Gaza and to eliminate Hamas? Because that's what you need. If you want to have a state, if you want to have sovereignty for the Gazans, Hamas cannot be part of it, because Hamas have vowed and have showed us their clear intention of annihilating Israel while using the Gazans as human shields, as pawn, starving them in order to put the pressure on Israel. This whole new campaign that is happening right now with Hamas has started because the GHF have been successful in delivering aid in the humanitarian aid centers that they created under protection of the IDF. Gazans were able finally to get free aid, as it was supposed to be the whole time. The aid was coming in. Israel did not block the aid. Israel have let dozens of thousands of trucks, tons and tons of aid, of medical equipment, of food, of baby formula, all of the things that you're crying that is missing. The reason that it's missing is because once those trucks are getting in, the IDF has recorded, also posted just from the July 25th, how Hamas, with their armed personnel, taking over those humanitarian, literally taking over, like standing on top of the humanitarian aid trucks and shooting anyone who's trying to loot it. Then they're taking the aid to themselves, obviously feeding their own selves in the tunnels, but also selling these aid in the markets in outrageous prices that Gazans cannot really afford. And then they stockpile it in the warehouses, where also we had footage showing how some Gazans found the warehouse and was looting that warehouse of Hamas. Hamas is intentionally trying to stop or to cause this crisis in Gaza. Why? Because they can't win against the IDF. They could have never. They have this delusional idea that we annihilate Israel, but realistically they can't really do it. So they trying to inflict as much suffering as possible through the Gazan. So you guys on the West, those fucking useful idiots that see a photo of a poor baby that has been manipulated and abused and exploited because he has a rare disease that make him look like he's starving to death, but he's not starving to death. But they will get you to believe and have sympathy for them, and then where your outrage is going towards Israel as usual. It's so easy to blame Israel again and again, but the ones who are at fault of the suffering is Hamas. And when you are siding with Hamas, you are complicit with the suffering of these children. Get it to your head. In order to end this war, there's one way out of it. That way out of it is Hamas. As long as you're giving Hamas the immunity and letting them go off the hook, you are complicit. Even in Egypt, they understand it, and Egyptian journalists are sharing it with you. The reasons for the war, the reason the war is continuing, prolonging, is because of Hamas and because of the propaganda and lies that are actually successful. Because in the Western world, thanks to, of course, the New York Times, CNN, BBC, all of their friends who are supporting them and shilling them and continuously using lies. Like that lie, the New York Times said something like, IDF says they don't have proof of Hamas taking aid. That's the headline. And when you want to try to read the article, of course, you have to pay first in order to read it, which many, of course, would not do. But that headline alone tells you that, oh, well, I guess it's Israel's fault. But when you're reading through the article, you would hear that there is actually many evidence that it is happening. The only thing that they were questioning if it is happening all the time, which probably not, because some of humanitarian aids are able to get into the GHF, the Gaza Health Foundation, that have been, it's an American company collaborating with the Israel government in order to reach out directly to the Gazans in the areas where the IDF has control over. The areas where Hamas still has control over, that's where they are stealing the aid and not providing it to the Gazans, because they have been using the Gazans this whole time in order to put the pressure, the international pressure, on Israel. And it works for them. It's insanity that the world would side with these terrorist, barbaric monsters who committed October 7, who have no regrets, who are no remorse, who are proud of themselves. Someone is talking about some Jewish settlers celebrating bombing. Maybe, I don't know, I don't even see the footage. But what I know of a footage of October 7, when you saw thousands of Gazans celebrating, cheering as the hostages were brought in, trying to hit the hostages, trying to kill the hostages, lynch them. That's what I remember. The celebration that was happening here in the campuses, and how professors were thrilled and exhilarated by the scenes from October 7, the footage of innocent people being butchered because they are Jews. That's what I remember. The Jewish nation stands for light, for life, for good, for peace. And I've always had. While our enemies want to annihilate us. Every generation they're coming and trying to annihilate us. But we will continue to stand strong and doing the right thing. And the Israeli government actually is about to vote, hopefully tomorrow or before the weekend, about actually annexing territory in Gaza, taking it legally, as they have come to annihilate us and they have tried to genocide the Jewish people. We have the obligation to keep the Jewish people safe, and those areas that the IDF currently have control over, the Israeli government soon will vote to see maybe we will take these areas back. In 2005, we were controlling these areas and we gave them back to the Gazans with the hope for peace. Instead, we met with rockets, with terrorist attacks, with these tunnels that were digged under our noses, under our kibbutzim, and then with October 7 as the peak of it. It was a mistake in 2005 to withdraw and thinking Gaza wants to live in peace. They don't. They elected Hamas, and they have since then vowed and used all the resources, brainwashing, indoctrination in UNRWA schools, everything, in every second of the day, devoting their lives for one cause, which is the annihilation of the Jewish people. We cannot live side by side with them any longer. They proved to us they can either get out of Gaza, get fuck out of Gaza, and go to live somewhere else in the other Arab brothers and sisters nations. They have over 50 countries where they can be Muslims, or they can decide and choose peace. Same as Arabs in Israel. 2 million Arabs, Muslims and Christians choosing peace, to live side by side with Israelis, with Jews in peace. There's a way out of it. You need to make the decision. We need to want to live peacefully. And we will continue to defend ourselves with whatever means necessary, and we don't care about a bad image because we rather live. We will continue living proudly in an SSL homeland Israel, between the Jordan River all the way to the Mediterranean Sea. Am Israel will always be Am Israel Chai forever.